hotels said, that's my money.
Yeah.
And a matter of fact, it's not their money, it's mitigation money coming to the citizens of Wasatch County.
Yeah.
To stand for the...
It's not any more their money than the sales tax they collect is their money. I appreciate they collect it, but
Yeah.
it actually goes to the state as a portion of that.
Is there a number like us, what we can charge on that?
No.
Is there a number limit on what we can charge?
We're there, 4 1/4.
4 1/4 is the upper limit?
Well, the impacts
Now-
we get from
Cities can also enact an additional amount that's a similar tax on top of that. Midway had it for a while, I believe that
they still have it till 2020. Till 2020.
2020, that's a population issue for them as to value versus tax collected there, but I don't know, has Heber done that as well?
They get a very small percentage, but it's not the same as the resort tax. It's truly TRT. So
Okay.
So they get a percentage of TRT.
their own TRT. It's not something the county
they don't get
collects.
any
It's something the
of
city
4 1/4.
collects.
But they can add a percentage on top of the...
They can, that's municipality.
You mentioned, well, there was that one slide talked about class 4, 5, and 6. Is any of this going to change when we become a class 3 county?
Yeah. At that point, we wouldn't be able to use anything for EMS or search and rescue or law enforcement.
We would not,
Law
yes.
enforcement, we would not. Or garbage collection, which we haven't done anyway.
Yeah.
Could it be used for like message boards or anything
Oh, yeah.
that could help out?
That's tourism.
Absolutely. It's really quite broad in that area when you get into these promotion of tourism and recreation.
You know, Ryan has proposed, and in our board, a marketing advisory committee. And one of the functions of that marketing advisory committee is to give Ryan, but at the end of the day, us, some suggestions and guidelines about use of some of that money.
And there's a couple ways to look at it. There are ongoing things, such as the budget and that has to do with payrolls and contracts and so forth, the tourism has, and also one-time purchases.
One-time, yeah.
Like if we were to buy some informational signs or do something like that, those are one-time purchases, which when you have reserves, those are much easier to do than to do ongoing type, because we actually went down in transfer room tax. If you look at the figures from 2016 to 2017, we dropped $40,000-$50,000, which is the first year we've done that since the 2008 downturn. And I don't know why we dropped. I have no idea why we dropped. But I'm usually pretty conservative on ongoing expenses versus one-time expenditures when we have reserves. Those are pretty easy one-time expenditures. We have the money in the bank and we think it all works well. Those are pretty easy. If they're ongoing things, that becomes a little more of an issue. Are we going to have money next year or next year or next year?
To me, it really makes me feel like the pressure is on us to make sure we understand this and understand.
Quite honestly, in the past, I've had very few questions during the budgeting process. Barry and I sat down and tried to figure out the best we can using Ryan's budget and Tom, his requests, and just try to figure out where it all fits. So it's appreciated. Any involvements, you get to approve it, you'll be involved as much as you want.
Thank you. Mr. Kozakowski.
Just a question. Do we have any estimate of the uncollected revenue from nightly rentals? The non-reported nightly rentals?
No idea.
No idea. So it could be twice as large. Because I know I reported a bunch.
So I can answer that. I
Yes.
don't know the number.
I don't know that it'd be twice as much, but
Well, maybe not.
the St. Regis is
Yeah,
about
it'd be hard
80% of that.
Hard to
total.
capture the St. Regis.
It'd
Yeah.
be tough to catch up with the St. Regis.
Ryan. So this has been a big issue with the county, so all of my counterparts get together regularly, and then I serve on the state tourism board, so we talk about these issues, specifically the uncollected overnight taxes. Counties are getting more aggressive, so they're actually sending out people making calls saying, hey, are you paying your taxes, and can we see that report? So I think it is something that's kind of on the rise, the need to do that, and I think the benefit is they're starting to suddenly see all this money be reported.
The problem we have is the state has really restricted us. We cannot use VRBO or Airbnb to make a determination of whether or not a rental place is renting their property. I don't know how else we do that.
Right, we have no enforcement mechanism.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we
no enforcement.
have called a few people who seemed suspicious and said, are you reporting that? In a couple of cases a few years ago, they said, oh, I guess we better start reporting that.
And what we do is we issue a business license to those properties. And I easily do 3 or 4 a week of nightly rentals, maybe 5 or 6 a week that we get in. Well, that's probably not very many compared to how many second homes we have in Wasatch County. 40% of our homes in Wasatch County are second homes. There's got to be a lot of homes out there that somebody's renting or doing something with. And the people that are complying, bless their hearts, we appreciate, but we don't know how to go after the others. We've actually, a few years ago, we actually got the sheriff involved. We sent somebody over and rented a place, took them to court, and the judge came down hard on them and fined them $250. And they were renting the place for about $2,000 a night. It's like, oh, okay, paid fine.
But their lawyer fees would add up. And the other thing, HOAs are a good enforcement mechanism.
Actually, they're a better enforcement mechanism than the county is, because your covenants that run with the land have actually pretty strong, they have stronger abilities than the county does to get those. So you're spot on.
Okay,
That it?
any further comment before we move on?
That's pretty good, huh?
Yeah, that's awesome. We're still on your report. I see Mr. Van Tassel and Mr. Collier. Are we still waiting for Mr. Quinn, or is he coming?
Yeah, he is, and David Hinkins is coming as well, so
Okay, well,
Should
we've
be
got
here
a
by-
couple things we'll move on to
they should
then.
be here in just a minute.
Hey, Mike, I had a question for you. You mentioned in there about Red Ledge's $4 million contribution. What was that for? That was just a donation during total?
Well, technically, yes, but the way it came about was, at the time Red Ledges started their development, they were in the unincorporated county, and we had a provision in the code that allowed for additional densities that they could purchase. And so there was a fee associated with increasing the densities. And that fee was close to the $4.5 million. And so when they came to the county and said we want to annex into Heber City, it was kind of a nod and a wink that we would oppose the annexation if they made us whole for what we would have got on that. And they came up with the idea of donating to the rec center to do that. That was fine, and so we went with it.
So technically, if they said that's a donation, it'd be pretty hard to dispute that.
Yeah, it was donated to us, but there was a reason that amount came up.
I got you. That's how the amount came about. I got you.
And I'll just add that,
Right. We were talking about it last night.
I need to move the emergency management update to probably next week. Jeremy couldn't make it tonight, he had another meeting he had to be to. And then I'll have a couple items for a closed session.
Okay. Should we do board reports real quick?
On property, so.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Crichton's got a family issue he needs to take care of.